The last word. The Galactic Council chamber was vast and cold, an immense amphitheater carved into the heart of a hollowed asteroid orbiting the red dwarf star Traxelion 4. Representatives from hundreds of species filled the tiered seats, insectoids with shimmering carapaces, gaseous beings swirling inside containment spheres, silicon-based lifeforms with crystalline eyes that flickered like distant quasars. And at the very center of the chamber, beneath the harsh white light of judgment, stood a lone human. Captain Lien Rourke of Earth's Defense Expeditionary Corps straightened her spine. Her uniform was torn at the shoulder, the blue fabric dark with dried blood. Her dark hair was matted, her face hollow with exhaustion, but her gaze was steady as she addressed the assembled powers of the galaxy. "Is there anything you wish to say before sentence is passed?" intoned the Arxian arbiter, its voice like stone grinding on stone. Lien looked up, and for a moment, she thought of home. Of the blue skies of Earth, the scent of rain on soil, the laughter of children in the parks of New Nairobi. She thought of the millions who had died in the defense of humanity. Then she spoke. "I want the record to show that we did not ask for this war." A murmur rippled through the chamber, the rustle of wings, the chime of crystalline bodies vibrating in dissonance. The arbiter's 1,000 eyes glinted coldly. "Your species defied the Council's edict. You refused integration. You resisted the will of the greater good. We resisted slavery." That single word, slavery, echoed across the vast space, sharp as a blade. The arbiter's form trembled, its stony carapace fracturing slightly. "Your defiance brought ruin upon your kind. And yet you persist in your arrogance." Lien's lips curled into a bitter smile. "You came to our world with promises of peace and unity. And when we declined to join your empire, you sent fleets. You bombarded our cities from orbit. You unleashed plagues. You turned the moons of Jupiter into shipyards for invasion forces. And still, we fought." A voice from the tiers, thin, reedy, belonging to a TRV envoy, hissed, "You fought beyond reason. You poisoned your own planets to deny us resources. You destroyed your own stations rather than let us take them. Barbaric." Lien's eyes burned. "Barbaric? We learned from you. When you slaughtered our civilians, we knew what we faced. We fought with everything we had, because we knew surrender meant extinction. Or worse, assimilation." The arbiter raised a clawed limb. "Enough. The Council will deliberate. Stand down, human." But Lien Rourke took a step forward. "Destroy our bodies, but not our spirit." The chamber fell silent. And then, impossibly, the great doors of the council hall burst open. An alarm wailed, a shrill, piercing tone that had not sounded in millennia. Council guards spun toward the doors, weapons raised. Through the breach strode a figure in battered power armor, scorched black by plasma fire. Behind him surged a handful of humans, ragged, bloodied, but alive, brandishing scavenged alien weapons. It was Commander Joel Vickers, Lien's second-in-command. "Lien," he bellowed, his voice hoarse with smoke. "We're not done yet." The council chamber dissolved into chaos. Guards fired, energy bolts lit the air. But Vickers and his band moved like demons, swift, precise, relentless. They'd fought too long, lost too much, to hesitate now. Lien seized a fallen guard's weapon and joined them. The chamber echoed with the thunder of gunfire, the screams of wounded counselors, the crackle of burning banners. It wasn't supposed to be like this. This was the heart of the Galactic Council, the seat of a power that had endured unchallenged for 10,000 years. And yet here, at the end of all things, a handful of humans were tearing it apart. Because humanity never knew when to quit. Hours later, or was it days? Lien stood on the shattered dais of the Arbiter. The council chamber was a ruin. Fires smoldered in the tiers. Alien bodies, counselors and guards alike, lay strewn across the polished stone. She coughed, tasting ash, and looked at Vickers. He grinned through cracked lips. Hell of a rescue mission. How did you even get in here? Same way we've done everything since this war started. We didn't ask how. We just did. Lien laughed, a wild, ragged sound. Outside the broken chamber, human ships, stolen, patched together, defiant, now filled the void around the council asteroid. Somehow, against all odds, Earth's survivors had turned the tables. Is this it? Vickers asked. Is this our final stand? Lien shook her head. No. This is the beginning. They thought they could break us. But today, we showed them. We're not just survivors. We're humanity. And we're coming for what's ours. And so began the age of the last word, a war no longer of defense, but of liberation. Wherever the council's chains lay heavy on a world, human fleets came, ragged, improvised, fearless. Worlds that had long accepted servitude saw what humanity dared, and rose. Species thought broken found hope again in the sight of human banners, scorched and tattered but unbowed. For the council, it was unthinkable. This species, young, primitive by their standards, had shattered the illusion of invincibility that held their empire together. And as system after system fell to the tide of rebellion, as the council's fleets crumbled, one truth became clear to all. Humanity would always have the last word.